Alright, back onto my motor. Wasted almost half a day. It was 3 when I went in. Oh, it's 2. To get my job done, I'm going to spend half a day not working. Alright, we get this cam cover put into here. Let me get this thing up into the frame. Alright, so, get some cams. So, here's our thrust washers that go in there. People ask me which way they go in. The bevel here, chamfer, is supposed to be to the cam side. These are running backwards. Most of the time the cams are cut pretty short, so you put them in backwards, get more surface area. You put them in this way, you lose surface area. But that's how you're supposed to put them in. I put them in backwards. I don't follow rules very well. Alright, so we got cams, and we got an oil pump to deal with. Let's see, probably should look at the oil pump first. Alright, so this is a Buell oil pump. So Buells have the top feed here like this, the top, and then also the 98 and later. Sportster pumps have that same design. Buell came out with it first, so. Damn. Alright, let's see what condition this thing is in. I put my oil pumps through hell, so. Let's see how much trash is in these things. Easy buy these online, eBay. Get them cheap. Now they make an aftermarket pump, supposed to be bigger than Harley. But I haven't seen them yet, so I don't know. Alright, so there's your gyrotor. That part looks fine. Everything filled out nice and cleanly, that's a good sign. That usually means it's not full of trash in there. No shrapnel came out when I opened it. That's another good sign. Appears that the oil filter is doing its job. There's a couple of them on the bike. Alright, so it's just 2 double flat side there. Spin it until it all goes back in. There you go. So the center plate, you got a fat area and a skinny area. Plate's got the same thing on it. The earlier pumps had springs and stuff in there. They found out you don't need all that crap. Simple design. Very few moving parts. 2 pairs of gears and a washer. That's pretty simplified on a shaft. Make sure your O-ring is still good. All looks good. Now if you got area between your holes here that's gouged up, you're going to lose oil pump volume. It's made so you can't put it on backwards. Unless you try really hard. There's always a way of doing stuff wrong if you want to. Some of these bolts here are going to go for this pump. Was it the black ones? Or was it the chrome ones? So I get about 2 diameters sticking a length, that's good. 1/4 inch bolt means you got a 1/2 inch pop up, that's what 2 diameters means. That is not enough length, that's not even 1 diameter. So these are not the right ones. It appears that these are probably the right ones right here. Thinking those are going to be what I want to use. Always like putting all the bolts in there to make sure everything fits in. Now if you want to pre-lube it, you put a little oil right in there. It's already got oil on the gears in there, so you don't really need to do this, but If it was dry in there, you just kind of go like that. That'll go all the way down into there. That'll go to the return side of the pump, not the feed side. If you want the feed side, you got to go through there. A little bit of motor oil is all you got to put in there. This is assembly lube, but same difference. It just goes in the hole. Let it soak in a little bit, and it'll reach its way in there and pre-lube it. Like I said, this one's already lubed, so it doesn't really matter, but it'll get harder to turn when that thicker oil gets in there. Make sure your gasket's good, not torn. Looks good. Okay, this just slips up in from the bottom. Pretty straightforward. Now mine, I got aircraft fitting on everything. Harley, this is a stock Harley fitting here. Well, one that looks like that. This is a -6. They use a -5, which is oddball. 5/16 line. This is 3/8. But they look just like that. Yeah, board's in the way. Alright, I need to get a little bit more height out of this. Or I need to look dangerously into the edge of the bench. Guess which one I'm going to do. Bring them up until they just touch. Bring all the bolts up. Okay, they all just touched. Alright, make sure it still rotates freely. It does. Okay, so this is a early case. So going by the number up there, it's past 80, so it must be like an 81.2 or something. Let's see, no real 81 there. It's upside down, so it's an 81 casting. So that means it came out of 81 or 82 bike. So anyway, to convert it into an Evo style pump, you have to put a hole into here to feed into your oil gallery, which is right here. So I put that in there. So when you put this together, you got room for your two lines, so make sure you rotate the pump out as far as it'll go. So you got some clearance here. So just rotate it out so you got clearance. Gives you more room. Then go ahead and tighten it down in that spot. So I'll go ahead and tighten these all up, and we should be good to go. Little small details like that make it a little bit easier to put together. Little extension makes it easier to get into here. See how it's so tight? Use the factory torque rating. That would be tight, about that much. Okay. Last of the Torx head bolts. Okay, so oil pump's in. Oil pump still turns. It's a good thing. Now we get back to building the motor. Okay, here's the nut that goes on there. Evidently I'm not using a lock. What a shocker. Here's the oil pump gear. You want to make sure it's not too worn like mine is. Mine's very worn. You can see all the teeth are half gone off of it. See how fat it is right here? See how thin it is here in the middle? I mean, this thing's worn out. So this gear should be replaced. You can also see the wear marks in there. But I don't have anything right now, so we're just going to put it and run it. Just like that. See all the clearance in there? That's looseness. See the backlash in these teeth? That's what that's from. Alright, now very important. You got to time this thing. So, see the crank pin right there? Top dead center is right here. See that mark right on the flywheel? That denotes your top center for the center of the motor, not either cylinder. See, there's only one mark. See, there's no other marks here. Now, see that mark right there? Guess where it goes? It goes right there. Now, if you put it over here, it'll run. Not very well. If you put it down here, it might start. It ain't gonna be happy. Any more than that, forget it, ain't gonna run. So, make sure you line that mark up. They purposely make it so you cannot see that when it's assembled. You can barely see in there. If you put the lock tab on there, not on there, and forget it, it goes away. So I've had more than one of these bikes I've taken apart, and these were off because they wouldn't run. So anyway, very important to put that in the right spot. Very important. I don't use a lock tab, I just use a nut. This bike don't stay together long enough to get all that fancy stuff on there. It's a big one. Yep, bigger than that. Not that big. 15/16. That's the one. Yeah, it looks like it's tight. Worked for me. Okay. Make sure it rotates. Good time to put some lube on them teeth. Might be a while before those get lube on them. My guess is a lack of lubrication inside this motor in here. That's why these are wearing so much. At high RPM, I don't think we're getting a lot of oil flow in here. Make sure she's good and pre-lubed. Sure with that clunk 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 noise I'm hearing in there. Don't know what that is. It's going click 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 click. Don't do as much going that way. I don't know. Weird. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I don't like noises, I don't know what they are. It's the oil pump. It's making a noise. Those teeth are not very happy. Oh well, they're good to go for now. We'll get over it. I don't have my parts here, so I can't just go grab stuff anymore. It's going together the way it is. Alright, so we know the oil pump drive system sucks. That's got to be replaced. I got to keep an eye out for a set of gears and put them in there. Get rid of that junk. Now let's see, there's a Beal crank floating around here. What if there's a Beal crank around here I can steal one off of? Beal motor. There's a Beal motor around here. There's one. I don't know if there's any parts in that thing. I remember one of these motors had a crank in it. I remember it was this one or the other one in the part. The other one I put in a box someplace, or crate. Another bad oil pump gear. I think it's a common problem. Here's another one right here. You can see the wear on that thing. I think these are a common problem. This one looks like it might be better than mine, but this is not a spline shaft, it doesn't look like. It's a different shaft. You can see how the oil pump gear is worn already though. I'm thinking this is a slip fit shaft by the way it looks, but probably different. We'll pop the nut just to make sure, because otherwise I'll rob that sucker on the heartbeat off of there. It's a little bit better condition than mine. It's the same nut size. Nope.
Hello. Hi.
Yes.
For Tatro machine?
Yes.